Welcome. Welcome to The Market Said No. And we're totally live on YouTube. This is the first episode of The Market Said No. It's a show where I'm going to be talking about listings that have been on the market and didn't sell for whatever reason. Not just here to bash. First of all, I'm not going to bash any agent because every agent does the best job that they feel that they can do. The clients also have to accept some responsibility sometimes for when the house doesn't sell as well. But what I'm going to what my plan is here is to take a look at homes that were on the market, what I feel like some agents did well, some things that I would do differently, and then take a look at how I feel the consumer, based off my experience, looks for homes and how it can help you as a seller to get your home sold. So the first house we're going to take a look at is here in Grapevine, Texas. It's been on the market for 164 days. It's quite some time. If you're not familiar with Grapevine, Texas, it's on Lake Grapevine, strategically located close to DFW, in between Dallas and Fort Worth, a little closer to Dallas. It's got a lot of different amenities for families. You got Grapevine Mills for shopping and restaurants. It's a good place. It's a good place to live. So you ask yourself, this home is 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2.5, actually, 2 living areas, 2 dining areas, no pool, fireplace. It was on the market for $675. Doesn't look like. Take a look at the history. It came on for $675. They didn't make any changes to the prices. That's my first indicator of why it didn't sell, is because of the price. But let's take a look at pictures of the home. Now, the first picture that I see, folks, is when we're, as an agent, setting up your listing in MLS. The first picture is the first picture that you're going to see on Zillow and Realtor.com. Give you an example. Well, let's go here. Well, this is the old pictures because they often get removed. But let's go back to, what's the address here? And again, we are live, so this is not Memorex. You're seeing it live and direct. Whatever mistakes I make, hey, I just make them. I'm just doing this. This is my first time. I'm not an expert broadcaster. I'm an expert at getting your home sold. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. If you like it, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that something like this could have value for someone who either has their home on the market and is wondering why it's taking so long to sell, or had their home on the market. Let me know what you think, because if you don't feel like this is of any value, then I'm not going to waste my time doing it, right? Because you're not going to watch it, and I'm just killing time. Go back here. You see when you go to Zillow, that's the first picture. So the first picture to me, and oftentimes I tell my agents, don't put the front of the house as the first picture, because when you're scrolling through Zillow, all you see is the front of houses. So you want something that, stops the scroll, as we say, something that will get that person who's on their phone, because we know they start their search on their phone, and we know they start their search on Zillow. But you want to get them to stop, and if something's not the front of a house, it just breaks the monotony of seeing the front of a house. But this first picture, folks, to me, it's not doing any justice. What do you think in the comments? It's not doing any justice, because it would be one thing if there were a pool back there, right? If there was a pool, sparkling pool, beautiful landscape, something that was just like, wow, look at that. Let me stop and look at this. Now we hit the front of the house with the second picture. But then we're back to the gazebo, which we couldn't even see in the first picture. So right now, the order of the photos to me is a little off. Back to the front of the house. And then we're at the front door. Now, I feel that when you put your pictures online, it should flow as the way that you come into the home. So this one here, you come in, you got rooms to the left and to the right. Now we're to the left. And this here reminds me of a mudroom. I mean, that's, you got your, looks like the thing they have in a hotel, right? I mean, that's what it looks like. And listen, if this is your house, I'm not bashing your house. I'm just telling you from the perspective of someone who's walking in, right? I mean, this house, you probably raised your family in it. It has a lot of memories. And I get that. But we have to look at it from the perspective of the consumer and what they're thinking and what's going to get your house sold. This here looks like a mudroom. And what is it? When we go to the next picture, see there's, like the chalkboard up there, which is cool. And now I like this mudroom type next to the garage. But walking in the front door, not so much. It gives me a little pause. Still got names on there. And it feeds into what looks to be a formal dining. And this is the room to the right of the door. I mean, we left you miss 100% of the shots you don't take on the wall. And I believe the great one, Wayne Gretzky, said that. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. If I'm right, hey, I'm doing something right. Now, what's the description say here? Texture ceiling and light carpet. Okay. Now, for me, you guys tell me in the comments, the LED lights around the perimeter of the formal dining is kind of giving me that. My kids have those in their bedrooms. Let's just put it out there like that. It just doesn't seem to fit with the house for $675. As we move into the kitchen, I like the kitchen. Kitchen looks cool. These covered lights that's something that's not done anymore. That's a little dated, but hey, it is what it is. You can easily fix that and change that if you want, if you bought this house. But overall, the kitchen looks pretty nice. You got granite counters, shaker cabinets, appliances look decent. And we got another view from the kitchen. And I guess maybe it's me, maybe the rest of you buyers out there don't notice these things, but I notice this here on the door looks a little worn. Could probably have, painted that. We are talking $675 here. We're not talking, a fixer upper for $200,000. And then that's the eat-in kitchen where we've got. So one thing I'm focusing on the pictures is because there's 25 pictures in here. And we can put up to, I believe, 40 pictures. To me, when you're putting a house on the market, you want to put the best pictures possible. The pictures, to me, should tell a story, right? And it should also tell a story that gets the consumer wanting to come to see your house, not just looking through Zillow on their phone and saying, I don't want to come see the house because I've seen all the pictures. And what tends to happen is you get your photographer. I'll tell you how it goes. You set up the photos. The photographer comes. He takes 4 or 5 angles of the kitchen. The agent gets all the pictures. They'll look and be like, oh, if there's anything obviously wrong with the picture, they won't use it. But if they've got 4 or 5 angles of the kitchen, most agents will put 4 to 5 angles of the kitchen on MLS, which then goes to Zillow, Realtor.com, and Redfin. Now, to me, you guys tell me in the comments if I'm off base here, because I don't know everything. But to me, if I give you every angle of the kitchen, why do you need to come to see the kitchen? Because my goal is to get you to come and see the kitchen, right? Because I want you to maybe overlook the door, because people will go in a house and say, hey, what happened here? And they can love the kitchen, but like, what happened here? Like, we just have a tendency to focus and pick up those negative things, and they can outweigh the positives. So when you got all these pictures, I think it just allows the consumer to make their mind up without ever going to see the house. And we want people to come into the house. Now, this picture of the, I guess would be living room, family room area, stands out to me for a different reason. I don't know if it's because of the lighting, but if you notice these cabinets here versus here, Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know, but it looks like these are painted more recently and these weren't or something. I don't know. That's just what it's thrown off to me. And here's another thing. It's a bonus room, light carpet, textured ceiling, wealth of natural light, and AI created description. Just gonna tell you. Does that in MLS. You put your picture in, it asks if you would like an AI created description. Bing, there you go. Here's the thing. Sellers, when your house is vacant, it's very difficult for people to imagine what it would look like with their own furniture. It, most most people just don't have that vision to say this can go there and that can go there. They like to see your things there, right? They like to see your things to be like, oh, they had this like this, and it's oh, right, they've got the TV here, and I can situate mine similar. They like to see that. So if you're selling your house, and unless you're leaving in the dead of night, the best scenario, in my humble opinion, is to get the photos done with your furniture staged, or if you can afford it, to stage the house, but at least get the photos done with your furniture in it so that the next person who's looking can kind of visualize where their things can go. That makes sense. Now we look at the bathroom. The bathroom looks like it had been renovated, fairly recently. Looks pretty good. Now if we think back this, and it look now, okay. You see here, it looks like the cabinets were, the closet was customized some. Are you seeing that? Now, to me, a closet is a closet is a closet. But if a closet has been done, California closets, any type of customization that makes it stand out, that's something you want to showcase. Because what woman, what man who's into clothing, doesn't like a nice closet? Because I see these shelves here, drawers, I should say, and I start thinking, what can I put in there? Versus if this were just an old plain closet with rods and a shelf on the top, it's just a closet. So this is a miss right here for me. I think they should have showcased that a little bit. We got some more of the rooms, and then we got the last picture, which is the final bathroom. For $675. When I look at the tile on the wall, I look at the tile on the floor. The tile on the floor looks like the tile that was there when the house was built. Tile on the the tile on the wall in the bathroom looks to be a little more modern. It was done, not to say it was done recently, but probably not built like that. This was cute. I'm sure everyone who came in thought, oh man, that's so neat. I'm sure the kids thought it was as well. But you're selling the house. Depersonalize it. The next family that moves in is probably not going to have a Megan. But it's just little things like this. Although you see it and you say it's cute, you also say to yourself, I've got to paint that over. Now you're making me do work, right? And the ideal is to get, for $675, honestly, most buyers for $675 want to move in and the house is ready to go. They don't want to do any work. So that would be my first thing about this particular property on why it didn't sell, is the fact that, one, sellers were set on a price, because we know it was on the market for over 164 days. So the sellers, and I don't know why they were selling. Everyone has a reason, and maybe they needed that dollar amount. But when you look at the home and the price never dropped, and it's on the market that long, it only makes buyers stop and think, what the heck is wrong with this house? It's in a great city. It's in a great school district. Why is no one buying it? So let's go back over here. Now that's Zillow. I know a lot of you agents out there, if you're watching this, you're like, oh, I hate Zillow. It's the website. It's what the consumer uses, and this is what they know, like, and trust. But here's one thing for you sellers: buyers always look at this estimate. And here it looks good though, right? Because they were trying to sell for $675, and it says $690. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. They go, let me go to Realtor.com. Maybe I'm searching again, and the house comes back up again. And now it says, wait a minute. Realtor.com says this house is worth estimated value of $667. Let me go. What did Zillow say? $690. And what were they trying to sell? $675. This is me as the consumer speaking, folks. So now I'm like, wait, $675 list price. Zillow said worth $690. So if I'm thinking $690, if it's really $690, I get a bargain because I can buy it for less than what it's worth. I get some equity, right? But Redfin is telling me, wait a minute, it's less than what it's listed for. So now I'm a little confused. Realtor.com. So now I go to Redfin. And lo and behold, Redfin is saying $642. What do you do about that? Now I'm totally confused. I've got 3 different values in my head. I've got the price the seller wants. I'm calling my agent and I'm like, how much is this house worth? And the agent is like, well, let me pull comps. That's what a good agent does, right? But here's what we're doing as consumer. Again, this is me as the consumer here. I'm looking in Grapevine, and as you can see, if you're not familiar, there's Lake Grapevine, there's DFW Airport. So if you have the business travel, boom, airport's right there. You're in the middle. You got Fort Worth over here, and you got Dallas over here. So you got the best of both worlds. But we're going to scroll through here, and I want a 5-bedroom, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, here's a 5-bedroom, 3 baths. It's smaller, it's less too, but it's got a pool. Nah, I like a pool. $629. That could be an option. Still got 5 beds. If I need 5 beds, no, there's nothing else. I need 5 beds. This one here, $649. Smaller as well. Took a $25,000 price cut back, a week ago. So hey, that could be an option too. Let's go see that one, right? We're going to go check that out. This one, 3,300 square feet, because this one we looked at was 31. This one is larger. It's larger. It's $675. And it says 4 baths. Little secret about Zillow, though, is that if this is actually a 3.5 bath, Zillow is always going to say it's 4 baths. So you could go through these pictures and be like, well, you're thinking there's 4 full baths, and it could be 3.5. Now, I don't know because I haven't clicked on it. But that's what Zillow does. Like here, 3 baths, it's probably 2.5. For some reason, that's just how they do it. But as the consumer, again, you want a $675 for 3,100 square feet. And I'm looking at your competition. If I'm not so stuck, because here, look, I can get 100 less square feet, 1 less bedroom, right? Now, that matters if you need 5. But if you really don't need 5, or you think that you can make some flex space work as a 5th bedroom, sellers, you've got to understand that you're not competing with homes that sold 3, 6, 9 months ago. You're competing with homes that are on the market today. And today's buyer has more options. Now, there's not a lot of options in Grapevine in the $600 price range with 4+ bedrooms. So that tells me also that a couple things. If your house is priced right, your house is appealing, very appealing, it's probably going to sell quickly because there aren't a lot of options. If you want to be in Grapevine with that, 4+ bedrooms, almost 3,000 square feet. It also tells me depending on how long. Let's just take a look at this one and see how long it's been on the market. So this is the new Zillow Showcase listing. You can tell the pictures are a lot nicer than that one. Secret here, kids, is that they just charge us more as agents to do this. That's all it is. But it's very nice. 675, built in 93, 20 days on the market. Look at the house, though. It's not staged. I mean, let's look at all the photos. Stephanie Turner, great agent. Give her a call. And that button that says contact agent, you're not contacting Stephanie. Just FYI. See that button there? That's how Zillow makes money. You press that button, they sell it. They sell your information to another agent. I mean, it's business. Not mad at them. That's what happens. See, Stephanie's got 43 pictures. But look, do you see the difference? If you're comparing as a buyer, you're comparing this house versus the previous house. I mean, you got the furniture in there, so you can look. Dining room it looks clean, looks airy, nice and bright. You can visualize yourself sitting in there. You got the front room. Turned it into an office. Let me get some water. Turned it into an office. But you can see, like, okay, he's using it or she's using it for an office. I could do the same. Or I can see it as big enough for a sofa. I can put a sofa in there and I can just use it as like a sunroom or something. I don't know. Kitchen. Nice and bright. So all that to say is that as a seller, it's not just about the price that you want. Not in this market. Now, if we were talking a couple of years ago, these houses in Grapevine would have been gone 5 minutes. Boom, just gone off the market. Didn't matter the price. But now the buyers, one, rate conscious. Two, buyers are concerned about the economy. Three, although there's not a lot of options, there are still options. As the buyer, I can go see all these and make a decision based off of anyone that I like. So as a seller, goes back to one, making sure your home is prepared to be on the market, to be as presentable as you possibly can get it, to price it in accordance not just with homes that sold in the past, because that's the past, and I get that past performance can be an indicator of future performance. I was in the investment industry for a number of years. But looking at the pricing of your competition, because that's what the buyer sees. They don't nowhere here do they see what your house or the other houses that sold previously, what they sold for. And even if they pull them up, Texas is a non-disclosure state. You're not going to see the actual sold price anyway. You're going to see the price that it was last listed for, which does not tell you if the house sold for less or for more. So take those things into account. If you got to put your house on the market, you want to look at sold homes, prior sold homes. You want to look at homes currently on the market, your competition. And if your agent can get it, homes that may be currently pending sale. Depending on where you live, it could be a little easier. Here in Texas, not supposed to tell. But if your agent can find out, hey, I got this house X, or let's say it's Brookgate Drive, it's closing tomorrow, and your agent calls me and they're like, hey, what are you guys pending at? I'm like, well, we're closing tomorrow, and I can tell you that the sellers are getting what they asked for, or they're getting close to it, or not so good. But call me tomorrow and I can give you a better idea. So if you can get those three variables down, price it accordingly, make sure it's dressed up well, shows well, you can get your home sold. It doesn't have to spend months on the market. And if it does spend time on the market, remember this: time on the market is the true enemy of your home's equity. Because the longer your home sits on the market, the longer it sits. That was my wife going ahead until I call her right back. We're live here. We're live, so you're hearing it all. But the longer your home sits, as the buyers feel that it's been rejected by other buyers, eventually, if you want to get your home sold, you end up playing the game of racing to the bottom, of lowering the price. If your home doesn't sell, then, 2 weeks, based off of the number of showings and feedback, if you're not getting any showings at all, then it's the price. If you're in a good neighborhood, your house looks good, it's the price, pure and simple. You need to look at the price. You have to. I implore sellers to stop thinking that this is the time when Susie down the street put her house on the market and she made a killing and it's sold in 5 minutes. Those days are over. All right? So take your time, figure it out. You don't have to sell. This is another misnomer, is sellers think, well, if I price it high, I have room to come down. No, you have room for your house to sit on the market so that you have to come down anyway. I mean, folks, we all know buy low, sell high, right? It's not price higher and sell for lower. I mean, if anything, you can price 5 to 10% below your competition, and you might get 2 people that really want it and end up getting more than what you asked for it. You just never know. It's just different strategies. It really depends on your motivations for selling. It's all about you, is what I'm saying. That's it, folks. It's my first live. I want to do this every week. I pick a new house every week. If you got a house that you want me to look at, if I can pull it up anywhere in the North Texas area, in Louisiana as well, that Shreveport area I can see as well, I'll do it. I can even just take a look at outside the area. I can pull it up on Zillow and just give you my thoughts based off of what I can see. But that's it. My name is John with Local Realty Agency Mid-Cities. And if you got any comments, questions, suggestions, drop it in the comments below. I read them all, and I'll get back to you, and I'll see you next week.